Some people from the Caribbean or countries such as Ghana and Nigeria who settled lawfully in the UK before 1988 faced problems because they did not have the correct documents to show their legal status. As a result, they may have found it hard to demonstrate their right to work and access services in the UK and lost out on things like jobs, housing and health care. This has become known as the Windrush scandal, as many of those affected are people from the Windrush generation. We spoke with David, who has worked as a Windrush outreach engagement officer at the Home Office since April 2018, to answer some common questions about the Windrush compensation scheme, as often many people don't realize they are eligible to apply for support.
My name is David Levy and I currently work with the Windrush Help Team on an outreach engagement portfolio to try and raise the awareness amongst affected communities about the Windrush schemes.
Some people from the Caribbean or countries like Ghana or Nigeria who settled lawfully in the UK before 1988 and have suffered because they couldn't prove their legal right to live in the UK may be entitled to compensation from the Windrush Compensation Scheme.
The Windrush Help Team will consider a variety of evidence and can provide advice on documents to show your date of birth or arrival in the UK and your lawful status. They can also put you in touch with a free independent advisor for more help with your claim. Getting help is actually easier than you think. The Windrush Help Team are especially trained to help you through the application process and can get you extra support if you need it. The team always aims to make a decision on claims as quickly as possible. There is really no desire for the compensation team colleagues not to pay out money. They want to pay out money. They are trying to do it as quickly as possible. If you've suffered, whether in a big way or a small way, compensation now starts at a minimum of £10,000 and can go up to £100,000 or more. There is actually no limit on the total amount of compensation available and no end date on the scheme. And also to know, applications made to the Windrush Compensation Scheme are free of charge. The schemes have no end date. So if people aren't sure, they can take their time. But make sure you put a claim in, because if you don't put a claim in, nothing happens. It costs you nothing. And the other thing which people always worry about, and understandably, is the fact that if we give you all our details, next day we'll knock on the door and an immigration van's going to be there to deport people. That doesn't happen. Before the pandemic, I used to go out with colleagues up and down the country speaking to people. And I'd say, we're here and we're telling you about the schemes. We'd have conversations. I'd go to community centres and talk to people. And more than one occasion, I'd speak into a chap and afterwards he'd say, thanks, David. Having spoken to you, I've got confidence now that this scheme's okay. And what I will do is go back to my community group and actually tell them it's worthwhile engaging. All active Windrush cases are dealt with confidentially and sensitively by the Windrush Help Team. And applying for the scheme will not affect the immigration status of applicants or any members of their families. The Windrush Compensation Scheme is absolutely free. The only thing it will cost is people's time in completing the forms, but the scheme itself is absolutely free.
What can you claim compensation for?
You can claim compensation for a range of things, such as losing your job or access to services such as housing and free healthcare, or had problems travelling or were wrongly detained. You can also claim for wider non-financial impacts such as distress.
How much compensation do people actually receive?
Compensation now starts at a minimum of £10,000 and can go up to £100,000 or more. There is no limit on the total amount and no end date for the scheme.
We heard it can be difficult claiming compensation. Is this true?
The Windrush Help Team are specially trained to help you through the application process and aim to make a decision as quickly as possible. They can also put you in touch with a free independent advisor for help with your claim.
Will your immigration status be affected if you apply for compensation?
No, applying for the scheme will not affect the immigration status of you or your family.
The name Windrush, unfortunately, has created another myth. in the sense that people think it's only people who were part of the Windrush generation. That is not the case. You may be able to apply for compensation if you settled lawfully in the UK before the end of 1988, or you or your parents are from a Commonwealth country and settled lawfully in the UK before 1973. Some children, grandchildren, close family members and relatives of people who have died may also be able to claim.
For more information, call the helpline 0800 678 1925 or visit gov.uk/Windrush Help Team.